This is a meal I had almost weekly growing up. It's deer meat in a gravy with some smoked sausage. So I start out by making a marinade for my deer meat. You can find the full list of the marinade on my Instagram page. But I marinate it for about 2 days in the refrigerator. And then I'll dice up my vegetables, my old Trinity, throw it in a bowl off to the side, add a little oil to a cast iron pot, and then start browning your smoked sausage. I'll brown down my sausage real good, and then once I'm finished with that, I'll remove it from the pot. That part is optional. You can leave it in and start browning your meat with the sausage, but I like to take it out and then start browning my meat separate. After I have all the sausage pulled, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my deer meat in. For this, I used hindquarters. I diced them up like stew meat, but you can use whatever deer meat you have. You want to put it in that pot and let it sit for a pretty good while till it starts sticking and making them gummies at the bottom of the pot. Don't be tempted to stir it too much. Kind of let it stick and start forming that good gravy at the bottom. Brown this down until it sticks and almost burns 2 or 3 times. I like to add in beef broth, but you can add in water if you want. I like to add beef broth because it adds a little flavor and color. But you see how it's starting to stick a little bit there? Right here is where I'll start adding in my liquid. You add some in and stir it up. I did that about 3 or 4 times, and then I remove the meat from the pot again and add in my vegetables. Those vegetables will help to start pulling the stickies off the bottom of the pot and start to form that gravy. I'll add a little bit of broth to them, and then I'll add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. That gives it a little more color and a little more flavor. And I'll use those vegetables to scrape the bottom of the pot. I like to brown them down really well, almost until they're kind of a mush. Once you get them to a good consistency like you see here, then you can go ahead and add your meat back. Now at this step, I like to brown this down a good couple of more times before I add my water. And then when I start adding water, I add it really slowly and I scrape the bottom of the pot the whole time. That's what's gonna make that real thick gravy that you want. So I'll just keep on adding water until the water is just barely covering the meat. And then I'll put a lid on it and put it on low for about 3 to 3.5 hours. The longer you cook it for, the more tender the meat will be and the better that gravy will be. So it really just depends on you. Let me know if you try this recipe or if you grew up eating this. Let me know if you do it any differently. And let me know if you tried it specifically from this video. Thanks for watching. Oh, and stick around to the end to see the reaction from my #1 critic. Joey, what do you think about it? You like it?
Yeah. Nom 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 nom.